Good, Russ.
Good evening and welcome to Stryda Park, the home of Monaro Panthers, smack in the middle of Queanbeyan City. And it's Panthers-Tigers Battle of the Big Cats Part 3 for 2025. And no more this season has it been bigger than this one. It's second versus third, and whilst a defeat tonight wouldn't be terminal for either side's chances of winning the title, it would make it very, very difficult indeed for them to catch Canberra, Croatia. So there's an awful lot on this one. My name's Russ Gibbs, and joining me up here on the balcony is none other than former Socceroo and Reading legend Andy Burnell. Welcome, Andy. Lovely night for football.
It's a magnificent night, Russ, and looking forward to what seems to be will be a great football match. You know, both teams are looking to still put pressure on Canberra, Croatia, and to be honest with you, a win, the team that wins tonight will probably eliminate the other one and at least keep themselves in the running for that top spot.
Certainly will. Both teams are involved in 8-goal thrillers of the week, on the weekend of differing kinds. Tigers FC saw their hopes take a dash when Gungahlin United scored twice later on to come from behind and equalise in the last kick of the game for a 4-4 draw at the AIS. Meanwhile, here at this very venue, Monaro Panthers eased their way past O'Connor Knights by 5-3, defending very much optional on the weekend, Andy. But at this time of the year, sometimes when players are tired, and that it happens.
It does happen, but it shouldn't happen, Russ, you know, and if teams, you know, really want to be pushing at the end of the season for titles and for spots in B-League championships, then, you know, I think it's something that you need to work on and be very focused on all season. You know, the great sides are built on great defensive units, and, you know, bottom, you know, at the end of the day, you don't concede a goal, you don't lose a match.
What is worth mentioning at this time, of course, is that both these teams aren't professional. They've all been busy working today, doing whatever they do for a living. I know, for example, Nathan Medjick's been up since 4:30, doing whatever he's gone. Usually what happens in these events on a Tuesday night is the first 45 minutes can be a bit bitty while people get the day out of their mind. You know, they might have just popped home to see the kids for 2 minutes, grab their gear and come down here. It's not ideal preparation, is it? But they still manage to put on a show for us. And it's whoever can adapt the best that will come out on top.
Look, I think it's part of that fascinating phenomenon that is semi-pro football, that is amateur football to a certain extent, and non-league football in England that we've both seen. And but, you know, once you get to the ground, you know, the focus, you know, is solely on football. You know, the rest of the day for me is out of the picture, and you know, being focused in on giving a great 90 minutes here, or whatever amount of minutes that you get to play, is key. And I'll be honest with you, when I was at Reading and Ipswich Town, some of the toughest FA Cup matches, you know, that I've ever played in were against non-league teams, you know, and they would really lift for that one occasion. So that's another animal,
absolutely.
The cup. But it's look, there's some fine players here, and yes, they do work, and yes, some of them in different circumstances could play at a high level, but it is what it is. So we hope they turn up, and irrespective of whether they've had a hard day at work or an easy day at work, looking forward to seeing some of them put a good shift in here and maybe producing a little bit of magic for us, Russ.
Seems a long time ago now, but way back when in round one, which was actually Tigers' second game of the season, these two teams met at this venue and the Panthers won by 5-2. Danny Ballach with a couple, Michael Piccolo, Stephen Dominici and Ben Basser-Silk on the score sheet for the Panthers. Ben Basser-Silk has since switched to the Tigers, whose goal scorers that day were Marko Milutinovic and Nick Popovic. They met again in round 8. It finished 2-2. Ballach and Kachenko were on target for the Panthers. The Tigers' goal scorers were Sam Whittier and Noah Steinacker, who's had a decent season, the young fullback as well. So we'll be looking forward to seeing what they can do this evening, even. crowd not as big as it would be on the weekend. We might get a few coming in once training sessions are done, etc., etc. And I can see some of the claw turning up now with the drums as if on cue. Just a bit of training finished for the youngsters, and they'll all make their way over from wherever they have been. Thanks for tuning in tonight, wherever you're watching from. Of course, Premier League football live for you from the OPC NPL, and we thank our sponsors for their coverage of this one. Should you be a fan of the Women's National Premier League, well, you can tune into a match right now at Greenway in Close, where they played 18 minutes. Sam Watson will take you through that. It's Tuggeranong United 0, Gungahlin United 1 in the Women's Premier League. That kicked off at 6:30. We'll keep you across that one this evening. No wind to speak of. A balmy night here in Queanbeyan. It's perfect conditions for football. Reminds me of those, as you mentioned, cup nights in England, where you know, there's a sense of anticipation, and that's what we want in these kind of encounters. And whilst we have a look at the league table, and we can see that the Tigers 1 point ahead, their goal difference of +12 compared to Panthers +30. We still don't know which way this one's going to go. There's so many good quality players on both sides.
Well, I was just going to mention that there. And you brought it up. There are some players in both sides that are capable of winning games for either side. Some of them younger, some of them older, but there's certainly some quality in both sides. So I'm looking at a game where I'm looking for. There's something, there's still something at the end of the rainbow here, and there's still light at the end of the tunnel for both sides, and Canberra Croatia needs somebody to put some pressure on them, and tonight one of these two sides needs to stand up.
Whilst home advantage in the ACT isn't the be-all and end-all, it is worth mentioning that in their 9 home matches this season, Panthers have won 6, drawn 1 and lost only 2, and they have scored a barrage of goals. They love playing at this venue. They love playing under the lights of this venue. On the weekend, sometimes some of their forward play was irresistible. They scored some amazing goals as well. When they're on song, they're a very good football team, the Monaro Panthers, particularly here.
They are, and I agree with you on this pitch here in Queanbeyan. For me, I used to come here as a little kid and watch the old Monaro with Sebastian Giampolo and Walter Valeri playing, and there'd be a little different to tonight. There'd be 3,000-4,000 people here sometimes, and that's the sad part of where we're at now a little bit in the capital. But
club to the right was bustling back in those days as well.
A lot of immigrants around those days that and this was their outlet. But on the other hand, the pitch. Was a cow paddock, and now it's a nice pitch. It's a pitch that if I was playing football in Canberra, I would want to have as my home. It's a beautiful place to play football, and if I was playing here in Canberra, Monaro would be a side that I'd love to ply my trade on every weekend. And but also, if I'm an opposition team, I'm coming here and I'm thinking, I'll have a little bit of this.
First time I played in Canberra in a league game, actually, was on this field against Queanbeyan City back in the day. But like you say, it wasn't quite as nice as it was here. Off the bench, scored 2, had 1 disallowed, then knackered my ankle and was out for about 6 weeks. As you do, Andy.
And that was your debut?
That was on debut, yeah.
Brilliant.
There you go. Had 6 weeks off after that, recovering from an ankle injury.
How many
in
years?
this changing room down here, and I came off, and I always remember it because it's the introduction to Australian football at that level, NPL level. They gave me a couple of Panadol and a beer.
Fantastic.
To fix the ankle. I was like, well, that's working, isn't it?
Erase the pain and increase the swelling.
100%. That's how it was done back in the day, though, wasn't it? That's how you fixed yourself.
But you're right, Russ. This venue, this location has always been it has its history. It has its beautiful history. It's part of the fabric of football in this city. And here come the sides, Russ.
Well, let's have a look at the two teams. Andy Burnell starting with Monaro Panthers. Gary Memitage will start in goal. Patrick Mitchell, Dylan Deet-Jones, Fernando and Sam Rosbach on the back 4. Ryan Straub, Robert Kachenko and Connor Minott-Smith will be the midfield trio. Connor Minott-Smith on a run of 5 goals in 5 games. Up top, Christian Kreskas, Stephen Dominici and Daniel Barach, former trident of attacking talent. Heath Illich, Nikos Kalfa, Zach McLaren, Fakedi Manda, Mitchell Jervis Hamilton, the front 3. Minott-Smith, brilliant form.
Look, he was he was a kid that years ago I wanted to take to the Mariners, but I think I mentioned it before. Wasn't allowed, but that's for another day. He certainly has a lot about him. Both sides, to be honest with you, have a lot of weapons going forward. I really believe tonight's winner will be the side that defends the best tonight. And it's something that all teams in Canberra need to work on. Both these sides as well. No one's kind of exempt. But tonight, the side that can keep the ball out of their net the least times will put themselves in a good position to win this match, because there's goals here.
Tigers FC will line up with Willem Lejeune in goal. Changes on the weekend. Shandon White and Noah Stryda are the fullbacks. Michael Southam comes in alongside Marko Milutinovic in centre of defence. Sam Whittier and Angus Pick in the holding midfielders, with Ben Bassasilk in front. Augustin Bangura, Nick Taneski and Josh Milicevic are the front three. On the bench, Tomohiro Ogawa, Nathan Mejic, Samson Carr, Nick Popovic and Zach Iliovsky. Nathan Shakespeare is our match official. Cornelius Maynard and Thomas Stuparic are the assistants. Panthers in their usual green shirts, black shorts and their green socks. Tigers in their away shirts, all purple. The Claws start the banging on the drums, who will be banging their own drum at the end of 90 minutes and keeping the pressure on Canberra, Croatia. Tigers start the day 6 points off the pace, 8 points off the pace, I should say. Monaro Panthers a point further behind. This one critical for both. And not just to see if they can put the pressure on Croatia, but also at the end of the day, if you finish in the top two, you get a second bite of the cherry in finals football, of course. Teams have met 29 times in the NPL. Panthers have won 8, Tigers 17 and 4 draws. 15 games at this venue, Panthers have won 6, Tigers 7 and 2 draws. And in total, well, there's been 114 goals in 29 games. Panthers have scored 37, Tigers a whopping 77. This game rarely, if ever, ends goalless.
It has. It's been a lively start, Russ.
Robert Kachenko on the break, blocked by Michael Southam. Looking for Nick Taneski. Ben Bassasilk back on his old stomping ground and sweeping it wide for young Josh Milicevic. Oh, brilliant skill from him. Great to see him back and at full pelt, and the ball in's good as well.
That's fantastic from Josh. We had him in the academy at the Mariners. A lot of talent, and just didn't quite work for him there. But, maybe he can become a superstar here and move up the ranks again. It certainly has a lot of skill and talent.
But he started brightly over on that left flank. Selected today, of course, in place of the suspended William Akio, who was sent off on the weekend, along with head coach Ali Effie, which means Hatif Beji is in charge of the Tigers this evening, on the edge of the penalty area. First set piece of the night for Kreskas to swing in towards Deep Jones. And clatters into the back of Marko Milutinovic. No doubt about that for a free kick.
That was okay, though. Early on, you got to let people know you're about, they're about. A little bit of physicality into the contest. You'd love that, Russ, back in your day.
Got to get stuck in, haven't you?
Yep.
I tell you, they've been the team to watch, the Tigers, Andy. In their last 5 NPL matches, Tigers games have featured 23 goals. Tigers have scored 13 of them. The opposition have scored 10. Coach killers, really, when you're conceding that many and scoring that many. But they haven't got a physicality about them. They are a big side as well. And this man, Sam Whittier, that's a heck of a ball for Milicevic, who's broken the offside trap. Josh Milicevic hits the post and into the hands of Memitaj. How lucky can you get from the Panthers' point of view?
Well, it was a great ball from Woody, and Josh got on the end of it, and really, really unlucky there. Beautiful piece of skill. Deserved a goal.
Dodged one there, did the home side. And Gary Memitaj was stranded, turned round to find the ball travelling back into his hands. Might have expected it to be nestling in the bottom corner. They've given it away again here. Bassasilk, Taneski. Patrick Mitchell stepped in.
Tell you what, if he had a look the other way, he had Milicevic free.
Bright opening though, isn't it?
Yes.
Very open start to the football match.
Look sharp and full of energy, Russ.
Fernando giving lie to what we talked about pre-match about them being a bit bitty in the first 45 minutes. They're very fired up, and Deep Jones goes long. Steinacker does well. Yeah, usually it takes a while for them to settle in, but both these sides off the cuff straight away.
Well, I think it's just a beautiful night for it. You know, if you're a footballer and you turn up, you know, tonight, these conditions, a little bit riding on it, both teams can do with a win tonight. You know, it's just conducive to beautiful football, and if you love football, these are the nights you want to play. So I'm not surprised that they're out there and they're looking quite sharp and quick with everything at the moment.
Both sides know the importance of it as well. Kachenko's won it back. Ryan Straub's under pressure. Fernando finds Deep Jones. The lanky centre-back. And he's giving it away to Milicevic as well. Not for the first time. The Panthers have coughed up chief possession in the early stages. Well,
they're pressing well, the Tigers, at the moment, and they're struggling a little bit to break through that. They've made a few mistakes at the back, and something they've got to fix.
You were joking beforehand when I was talking outside to some of the Tigers boys about don't mind the long ball. I mean, when it's played like Sam Whittier's long ball like that is, I mean, it's a perfect pass, isn't it?
Look, I'm a big firm favourite of. Look, there are teams that play out of the back, and that's fine. But you've got to have the appropriate players. You've got to have technically gifted players, you know, especially the higher the level that you go up, you know, and you get people that press really well. You know, you need to be, you know, very, very technically sound to have a team that plays out the back. So sometimes, you know, avoid that.
And that's what we've spoken before, Andy, and we have done on this, and you're well aware as well. There's a difference between hoiking it up the park and an actual measured pass, which that was from Sam Whittier.
I'll tell you, when I was with the Socceroos, Eddie Thompson was the coach at the time, and we had Viduka and Cahill and Kuhl up front, and you know, we were playing at the back, and he'd say, your first look is to Viduka.
Get the ball to him.
Yeah, you know, if you can...
Milutinovic around the back to defend, helped out by Whitehead.
Get the ball out of your feet. If you can hit the 9, then you've got Kuhl and Cahill running around the outside of him.
Wouldn't surprise me. You wouldn't mind getting the ball to that trio as quick as you can, would you? Corner kick here for Monaro Panthers. First chance for them from a attacking set piece. They send Fernando and Deep Jones forward. Kreskas to take. Whips it in towards Deep Jones, who was a target. Will come for Dominici. Might tee one up here for the hit from Straub. And it took a nick and will be a corner the other side.
A little problematic there for Tigers, leaving Dominici free on the edge of the box. That's dangerous in itself, and he brought it down, couldn't shoot himself, and Straub went close.
Both sides offering attacking threat in the early stages.
And it's these key moments, Russ. It's these moments, corners, free kicks. If you're defensively sound, it just lifts the whole side.
Kreskas to take again. Swings it deep towards the far post. Fernando was the target. The Chilean centre-back couldn't get there. But a very watchable first 7 minutes at Stryda Park. I think the Claw are decamping down towards the other end of the field so they can be at the end that the Panthers are attacking.
Sometimes when I commentate with you, Russ, I feel like I've been working all day. It takes me 7, 8, 9, 10, half an hour to get into it, but got a bit of energy about it this game tonight.
Well, you feed off it as a commentator, don't you? And it's certainly got one. Steinacker's fine Bangura. Milicevic on the far post is the only option. That's where he's gone. It will get there via the head of Sam Rusbakken at right back. That's a thumping challenge from
great tackle.
And the break might be on here for Minot Smith. Kreskas outside. Barac makes the angled run into the middle, and that's where it was aimed. Michael Southam with the defensive work, one end to the other, led by a stunning tackle from Kreskas.
Great tackle, and ended up with a very fine cross. And the game's pretty simple that way. You know, win the ball, get it out wide, or play people through.
You'd have appreciated that tackle.
Well,
love a tackle.
It was a fantastic tackle, you know, and we need more of that. And it led to an attacking position where they didn't have to complicate it either. It was the first time ball, bang, get it in. there's danger on the goal.
Kreskus to swing it in again into the danger area. Won by Whittier. Straub can tee up. Minot Smith. It's come off Taneski. Panthers keep possession there with Mitchell. Kreskus, who's switched flanks to take that corner. And a little tug on Noah Steinacker's shirt. Steinacker's had a really good season, as I mentioned. Should he play all of them by the end of the year, he will bring himself up, if they get to finals, to 50 NPL appearances.
He, great kid, like a beautiful kid. A fantastic player too. He was. He lived with me and my wife on the coast for a year while he was at the Mariners, and he won the New South Wales under-20s competition.
He slipped there.
As I was going to say, something fantastic about him. He
slips on the turf. Yeah. I mean, that's standard, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a bit dewy down there. We had a walk on it earlier, didn't we? And it's a good surface, but it is a little bit wet on top, as you would expect this time of night, right by the river.
But he's doing well. He's playing right back and has been for most of this season. And really, I think he could, at the end of the day, make a great centre-half.
Got the attributes, hasn't he?
And extremely quick. Like, really, really quick.
Basasilk finds Bangura.
That's a great ball.
Sweeping pass for Milicevic, who's offside. Ben Basasilk copped himself a knock on the nose on the weekend, which sent the claret flooding. He's got himself out there.
Please tell me he didn't come off.
Do you know what? I think he might have had to, because they couldn't staunch the bleeding at the time. I can't remember off the top, so I wasn't at the game itself, but sometimes this day and age, Andy, you get a bit of blood flowing and you can't stop it. You have to go off, don't you? They don't let you play on anymore. It's not like Terry Butcher back in the 80s.
Remember Paul Ince playing for England?
Yeah, Paul Ince as well. Covered in blood in Rome, I think it was.
Yeah. Strapped his head up and nose up and
off you go. Mitchell plays it square. Kachenko finds Straub.
Those of you that are still too young to know about Paul Ince, he was a great England captain, wasn't he? And Manchester United captain.
He's a warrior in midfield, wasn't he?
Yep.
That partnership with Roy Keane, you can imagine how that went down. Did they both play against you in that cup tie? In 95?
No, just Roy Keane.
Just Roy Keane? Yeah. Was Ince gone by then?
Yes, he was. Midfield was Keane.
Went off into Milan, didn't he?
Yes,
around about that time, 95-6.
Keane, Scholes, Butt, Beckham.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, terrible, eh? How's that for a Saturday afternoon?
That's all right, because if they didn't get you, Andy Cole or Eric Cantona would. Up the other end. Yeah, how's your afternoon? You pick up Beckham, I'll get Cantona.
But it's like the beauty of football, Russ, is, you know, you grow up in Canberra, you're born in Canberra, and one day you're playing an FA Cup match, you know, against those people. It's a pinch yourself moment. And what else would you do on a Saturday afternoon?
Absolutely. And all that talent on the football field in that cup tie, I seem to recall Paul Parker scored one of the goals. Diminutive fullback.
Yeah, he crossed it actually, and it went in the top.
He
shanked it and claimed it.
Absolutely.
Boys were giving him a stick in the players' bar afterwards, but
back at the old Elm Park.
He was claiming it, yeah.
Very atmospheric old ground.
Yeah. One of those old Englishy type grounds. Was fantastic.
Yeah, in the heart of Berkshire in the United Kingdom there. Here's Marko Milutinovic. Ben Basasilk. Shannon Whitehead. 12 minutes gone. Still await the first goal, not for the one to trying from both these sides. Michael Southam finds Steinacker. Bangura. Southam again. It's going to be picked off by Kreskus, and it's found Dominici in a pocket of space in which he can perhaps cause some damage. Couldn't find Daniel Barac, who incidentally has 15 league goals to his name, a lead in the Golden Boot race, 16 in all competitions this season for him, which is a great return.
Tell you what, I saw what Stevie was trying to do then, but if he had gone the other way, it would have been maybe the more dangerous option, but I'll let Stevie do what Stevie does. He produces a lot of magic sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, he's been around a little bit, hasn't he? 230 Premier League games, 184 goals. Often does the right thing. Tigers wanted a free kick, nothing given on that occasion. There is a race for the Golden Boot, of course, Andy, and it is a close one at the moment. Daniel Barac on 15, then Steve Nealon and Nick Pradagina both on 14, Max Green and Thomas James on 13. I mean, the players will say it's incidental to them, and it is. But if you're a striker, you do want to have that trophy in your hand at the end of the year. You won't swap it for a title, but it goes hand in hand normally.
Oh well, it's part of being a striker, isn't it? You know, at the end of the season, if you've you're judged on goals as well. Yeah, part of your, it's a part of one part of the game. But a key one, an important one. Strikers in Europe go for £100 million and, 100 million euros, based on scoring 20, 30, 40 goals a season in club competition. So, don't let anybody tell you it's that those strikers aren't thinking about it.
And while Daniel Barac has been a regular contender for it, it's good to see young Steve Neelan and Nick Pradajina both there or thereouts. Pradajina has scored 14 goals. He's barely started this season. Doesn't start very often. His impact has been incredible.
No, and I think, look, at the end of the day, it also helps, when you play in one of the top sides. So,
and Steve Neelan's got himself a hat-trick on the weekend. He's got 14 of Tuggeranong United's 25 goals this season. That's quite a return for a teenager.
Well, for someone that's 17, still finding his way in the game, and without being disrespectful to Tuggeranong, not playing in one of the top 2-3 sides, I think it's a fantastic feat.
Well, he's got their top goal scorers list at Tuggeranong is Steve Neelan 14, Daylight second by a long way, and then a raft of players on 2. Yeah. Anyway, here's Ryan Straub. It's a team game, of course, and you can't score the goals if they're not being created for you. Daniel Barac out wide for Patrick Mitchell, who swept that one across. Straight into the arms of Willem Lejeune. Imposing figure, the goalkeeper, playing his 59th National Premier League game tonight.
He looks big and solid. Both keepers do, actually. You kind of like, they've got a presence about them.
We do goalkeepers well in the ACT. There's plenty of them. Young lad, well, they can't call him a lad anymore. Dylan Parach-Cullen, he's a international near enough.
Yeah, he was. We can probably put a little claim in there, eh, Russ?
He's done well.
We brought the Mariners down the first season. I was there, and you obviously...
Dominici across the face of goal, no takers.
You obviously highlighted the club to his talent, and I don't know if you
opened the door, and his ability's taken him a long way, hasn't it? And he's got a long way to go as well, I think. I
remember your phone call said, mate, just I'll make sure he gets 20 or 30 minutes, and he did. And
Do you think, on a tangent, and we'll talk about that in a second with Dylan Parach-Cullen, do you think he could play overseas in the Premier League?
I think a lot of keepers, Australian goalkeepers, could. Dylan is one. There's probably another 3, 4, 5 in the A-League now that I've had the pleasure of being around and worked with. Paddy Beach is another one that's at Melbourne City. So yeah, there's we do goalkeepers not only in the ACT,
in Australia,
but in Australia we do. From the days of Schwarzer, etc., etc.
Big Zelko Kalac as well, wasn't there?
Yes, yeah.
Back in the day.
He's got he's won the European Championship, European Cup with AC Milan.
Spider.
Dylan has all the attributes and all the weapons, to play Premiership in England, Championship, anywhere in Europe, to be honest with you.
We'll keep an eye on that.
Now, how he progresses over the next 2 seasons will determine that.
And you can see his brother in action on Sunday from Gungahlin Enclosed. Gungahlin United versus Canberra, Croatia. OPC NPL round 19. Free kick goes the way of the Panthers. Angus Pitkins brought down Conor Minott-Smith, and a chance for Monaro to flood the box. Christian Kreskas. Well, it's on the cusp for him. He might think about sneaking one over the wall and into Willem Lejeune's right-hand corner, but there's a cluster of players to hit diagonally from him as well. Let's see what he's got up his sleeves. It's Kreskas. He does, Minott-Smith rather. He does have a go. He's pushed away. Conor Minott-Smith, as I mentioned, on a run of 5 successive goals.
Well, look, it was a good free kick too. The aim of what you want there is the keeper to make a save.
Which he did.
Yeah.
Kreskas whips it to that near post. Kachenko will pick up the pieces. Minott-Smith thought about the shot and then decides to pick out Dominici. And he'll set up for a throw on the far side.
Good defending from both sides so far, Russ.
Yeah, making
the
opposition shoot from distance.
Well, credit to both coaches, because from what I've seen so far, they look. It's a pretty open game of football, but both teams look quite. It's like they have a pattern of play. They have a style of play. They're compact.
There's Mitchell. Kreskas allowed to spin away and to deliver, but not to his usual standards. Just floats away.
So back to my point, both look well organised and look like there's a plan or a process, you know, in their systems. And maybe they were listening to us and actually decided that defence is key tonight.
Well, we're close to half-time over at Greenway, where it's Tuggeranong United 0, Gungahlin United 1 in the Women's National Premier League. Tuggeranong United, bottom of the table, had a torrid season over there. That's a decent first 45 minutes from them against a finals chasing Gungahlin. Bangura. Bassasilk. Bit hefty for Bangura, but he will give chase. Okay, Memitage, who by the quirk of stats, and he will have saved a shot that wasn't on target when that one hit the post. Because for some reason that's not a shot on target, is it, in the statistics?
It's not?
Apparently not. If it hits the woodwork, it's not a shot on target, which is, I thought that's the whole point of the goal. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've just, all these years in the game, and I just learned something new tonight.
Yeah, apparently it's not. Fernando. Dylan Deep Jones. Cultured centre-back. Loves to carry it forward. But given the opportunity to do so here. Looking for Barach on the switch, but that's tidy from Steinacker. And William Lejeune sent him on his way. When he gets going, Noah Steinacker, he is hard to stop, rampaging down these flanks. Lovely touch, Bangura spins away from Mitchell. 2 up in support. Bangura looking for Bassasilk. Kachenko with the skipper's job and turns defence to attack. And there's Steinacker with Dominici sticking to his task. The young central defender turned fullback. Southam likewise. Lovely touch from Bangura down here, wasn't it?
It was good play from a number of them.
And Robert Kachenko showing why he's got the captain's armband on. Stretching the limbs to get back. Midway through the first half, no score. Stryda Park, second versus third. A draw would do Croatia very nicely indeed. They would love that. 8 points clear, 3 games to go. A draw would leave them 7 points clear with 3 games to go and almost certain of the title.
I think we will get a winner, but I think it's going to be not as loose as we may have thought.
Well, after the weekend, with 16 goals into the 2 matches they're involved in, it has been a bit tighter. As I said before, though, these 2 teams do goals. 110 of them. Well, sorry, 114 of them, rather.
But you'd think as a coach of one of them, you'd actually go to the drawing board at some stage and go, all right, let's maybe try and keep a clean sheet this weekend.
There'd be a rarity in football in Canberra. Clean sheets. Goalless draws are even more rare. Here's Dominici up against Whittier. Southam's back to tidy up. Bassasilk takes up some lovely positions, Ben Bassasilk. Milicevic. Tineski had to peel wide. It's a loose one by him. Here's Kachenko. Just away from Pitkin. Minot Smith. Ryan Straub. Dominici. Barach loves to peel to the left. Delivery's not bad either. William Lejeune saw it safely into his chest. Long way to go, and it might be a night when the benches have got something to say. Plenty of talent on both.
It's still a pretty free-flowing game, Russ.
I think both coaches will be particularly happy at the moment. They won't be disappointed with what they've seen.
think both sides were pressing a little higher and with a little bit more energy early on. That's died down a little bit now, but we're still seeing some nice bits of play, passages of play.
And the promise of some goals. Does feel like there's one coming at any moment.
From a set piece or open play, what do you reckon?
I think an open play goal more likely than a set piece. Both sides look quite structured off corners. Fair bit of height in both teams as well. In the wider world of football, Community Shield took place on the weekend. Mo Salah's penalties landed in my garden after it cleared the crossbar. Just goes to show, doesn't it? One of the best players in the world.
Even the greatest missed them.
And Crystal Palace coming out on top.
I had a friend in Reading who was probably the only Crystal Palace supporter that lived in Reading.
Brave man.
He was a jeweller, owned the top jewellery store in shop in Reading, and we called him Paul the Jewel.
Paul the Jewel.
And he loved Crystal Palace, and last year Phil Parkinson got him, the Wrexham manager, got him tickets to go see Palace in the FA Cup final.
Well, he's been loving life the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
So
FA Cup winners, Community Shield winners. Good start to the season for Palace. All kicks off this weekend, of course, in the English Premier League.
It just shows you at that level everyone's dangerous.
Liverpool versus Bournemouth, first cab off the rank in the English Premier League on the weekends.
How you all?
And then Manchester United versus Arsenal.
Whoa.
On the weekend. Big game. Bankier into the middle.
Are you stressing a little bit on that one? You're all
Not
good
in
with
the
that?
slightest. Now that they've signed Cunha and Mbuemo and Šeško, I'd be happy if they got Donnarumma across the line. That would be a great sign.
You're happy with pre-season?
And they haven't lost a game. So that's either good or bad, isn't it? Look, it's better than last year.
And Arsenal?
It can't be any worse than last year. Arsenal's made some great signings, haven't they? They've done some really good signings. But so's most of the teams in the Premier League. So that'd be, do you know what? Everyone starts on no points, don't they? So doesn't matter where you are. My dad keeps an eye on Bournemouth, and they've just sold both their centre-backs for £140 million this year.
There you go. Probably got 2 kids to come in and replace them and make themselves another 140 million in a few years.
They signed Dean Huijsen last year for, I think it was £19 million from Juventus, sold him
to Real Madrid,
for £50 million. Nice bit of profit, isn't it? Deep Jones, probably not worth £50 million, but he'd like to think he is. Overhit that ball.
It's the right intention, maybe the right ball.
Well, it might be the ball that splits the defences tonight. We've seen already that Whittier did one that Milicevic got in behind, and with the way the game is panning out at the moment, it might be one of those accurate passes. Switches defence into attack with one pass.
Could it be a game set up for a substitute?
Plenty of time left to see. Here's Michael Southam. Just slides it towards Milicevic, who's abandoned his wing spot to get involved in midfield. Steinak, a lovely weighted ball for Silk, who wants the first time ping. Right idea. Radar slightly off. No goals in this one.
It was a good run, and maybe in the end the shot was the only option, because he didn't have many Tigers players running in into the box on that one.
Good vision from Steinacker as well. Great run from Silk. Excuse me. Let's just see how they're rotating a bit in the middle of the park as well. When Josh Milicevic came in there, allowed Ben Silk to go further forward. And Noah Steinacker recognised it. Hard to say who's on top here, really.
Yeah, it's been pretty even so far. And like I said, both teams look like they have their systems or their patterns of play. They look well organised.
Panthers are unbeaten in their last 4 games. They've won 3 and drawn 1. They've got some unfinished business in a couple of weeks, Monaro Panthers. They've got the 3rd Clearwaters derby of the season. They'll go over the road again to High Street, having played Queanbeyan City twice this season and lost 2-1 both times to their neighbours. which won't go down well in these parts. A derby defeat always tastes a bit sour, doesn't it?
Especially when you lose 2 and you don't want to lose the other one and make it a hat-trick.
2-1 on both occasions. That should be a good occasion at High Streets. Who was the derby for Reading? Was it Swindon?
No, yes, it was. It was Swindon, but we, because we were close to, Swindon and Reading hated each other. But, you know, at times if you, we were very close to London, just outside of London. So, Fulham, Queen's Park Rangers.
Well, Reading and Swindon not that far apart on the M4, is it? I would say it's a quick jaunt, but there's never a quick jaunt on that side of the road.
It's probably 40 minutes up the motorway to Swindon.
Having driven that way a couple of times, it can be a long time, depending if there's been an accident or two.
And at one stage, both teams have been premiership teams, championship teams. So a lot of history there.
But Bassa Silk. I used to live near Swindon.
You did?
Ironically, yeah. Went to watch them a few times at the county ground, just outside the Magic Roundabout, which you have a look at it. It's got... Do yourself a favour, Google the Magic Roundabout Swindon and have a look. See if you can figure it out, how you go round it. One big roundabout surrounded by 5 smaller ones. No one knows how it works.
Played there once, and as we were leaving, a brick came through the bus.
Yeah,
the coach window.
That was me.
Before we even got to the Magic Roundabout.
Yeah, no love lost between those two.
No.
Dominici just pops it off to Minot Smith. Happy to turn away. Looking for Sam Rasbakin in support. Kreskas outside him. Forced backwards by Angus Pitkin. Or by Shannon Whitehead, I should say, who's won the ball back. And Bangura straight into Mitchell. Barach. Dominici couldn't take it in his stride, but it comes straight out to Robert Kachenko. Minot Smith. Dominici.
That was a great play by Stephen Dominici.
Barach sweeping it towards that far post. And defensively, Sam Whittier came back and gets his team a goal kick. If you want to read more about Andy Bernal's adventures, do pick up a copy of Riding Shotgun. Great book, even if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And then there was the second one, The Vibe Manager. Is that what it's called, The Vibe Manager?
Yeah, The Vibe Manager was...
and then book number 3 at some stage.
Book 3's coming out. I think I'm going to call it Toxic Treble.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I do like a little bit of alliteration.
Already got you
a little bit of alliteration there, mate. Yeah. Mitchell Stroke. Got one of my own coming out over at Christmas again. 4th edition of the Stars of World Football. Translated from the original French.
Beautiful, yes.
Great.
Yeah.
4th edition of 5, I think.
Fantastic.
They wanted something like that. They keep coming back for more. Must be doing something right. Good stocking fillers.
Oh, look, it's always nice to put down some nice adventures and journeys in football. And I was always not hesitant about mine, but I suppose you were probably you were a big part of remember we were at Croatia Deakin one day, and you said you need to write that, and
it's a great story.
I started writing, and you put down I said, Russ, give me a chapter format or structure.
Yeah, we went through the synopsis. It worked out really well in the end. So it's a good read. Some stuff you couldn't print in there. I've still got the stuff you couldn't print there on my laptop.
Yeah.
I mean, put that lot behind locked barred doors. Yeah. That can come out in the uncensored version.
I might be put behind locked barred doors myself
if that gets released.
If it comes out.
Lovely turn from Minot Smith as well. Gets advantage play, drifting past a couple, still going here. Dominici to cut back and hit one. It wasn't far away. Beautiful lead-up play from Conor Minot Smith. And perhaps any surprise for Stephen Dominici is he's not hit the target.
It was great work from Conor, and I thought Stevie was going to curl it into the bottom left-hand post there, just inside that bottom left-hand post. But
went for the alternative option, didn't quite come off.
Unlike him, it didn't hit the target.
Warning, though, for the Tigers, if they needed one. Pitkin, hefty ball for Steinacker. Dealt with it well, though.
He's done well, Steinacker, today. I think
Whitehead lets it roll. In his more familiar position of left back today, Shandon Whitehead. He'd been deployed as a 6 numerous times this year for the Tigers. Does a decent job there as well, but naturally left-sided. Naturally left-sided fullback.
Canberra boy?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Been around. It takes a really good set piece if he can get to the front of the queue when the Tigers get one, because there's a fair few out there that can take a bit of a set piece. William Lejeune hasn't had a save of note to make. Then neither's Memitage. A lot of promise, no end result just yet. Bangura, Pitkin, Milutinovic. It's a decent goal-scoring season. Marko Milutinovic bagged himself a couple. He's got 6 to his name in the NPL as well now.
6 this season?
6 overall in his career. Doesn't get many. 1/3 of them have come this year.
He'll start thinking he's Sergio Ramos.
Get himself up there.
Yeah.
Not quite Steve Bruce levels. He got 19 in the Premier League year once, Steve Bruce. Did take the penalties, mind, but...
Boy, he got mashed up a bit.
Talking to broken noses.
Yeah.
Tigers turn from a set piece. We did mention whether it might be the way to goal. Whitehead to swing it in. Half cleared, only as far as Bassa Silk, who cracked one through the crowd. It took a nick. Wasn't far away.
Your money was on open play, wasn't it?
I mean, technically, is that a set piece or an open play goal, though? Because it was cleared. I mean, I don't know. Now that we know that it's not a shot on target, if it hits a woodwork, mate, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, that's an open play, that one. Yeah.
Whitehead will come across to this near side again. Southam, Milutinovic in there. Whittier's always good with his head. Often finds the room. Milicevic has come short. Not sure the Whitehead was ready for it. Didn't see the run of Josh Milicevic. Taneski, in fact, in amongst the trees I can see, who's taking the corner. Here he is again. Second effort. Shandon Whitehead. You can't really see through the trees at the best of times. Southam's ball. It was on the stretch, and there's the hit. A goal from Whittier. And Memitage makes his first real save.
They're not easy. He took it well, he caught it well. But fortunately for the Panthers, their keeper was in a wonderful position.
Kachenko can't get it over the lofty frame of Steinacker. Bangura sends the fullback scampering forward. The nutmeg ball to Taneski. Played on by Whittier. Milicevic. Uncharacteristically, took his eye off it. And jinks his way, should win a free kick. Sam Rosebucken's not enjoying his evening there against Josh Milicevic. Low centre of gravity. Difficult to play against.
I could give Sam a little bit of advice.
Don't dive in.
As the ball's arriving. Bang.
Put him into the river.
Yeah. I'm not even joking.
Oh, no, you're not. Helped you write that book, remember? Nick Taneski over this. With the right foot. 4 in the wall. Bends one in. Bangura helps it on. It will loop, but over the bar harmlessly. 8 minutes to the break. 0-0. Who's happier right now, do you think, Andy, if either?
I think... look, I think the Tigers maybe had a couple of clearer chances earlier on, but Monaro have had a couple up here themselves that they maybe would feel they could have done better with. Again, Kuma, the last few minutes have gone close in a way. So it's still very much,
not a lot
for want of a better phrase, on a knife's edge. Yeah.
Barach penalised for the arm around the head of Sam Whittier. Nothing untoward, free kick, nothing more.
Look, it's a tight match. I'm seeing two sides that again, look well organised, that look fit.
He's Michael Southam. Bangura tried to help it on its way. Nick Teneski's won it back. Didn't have any right to do so, really. Basa Silks found Milicevic. Tried to dink one in. And Deep Jones rather shanks that off his shins. And gives the Tigers another set-piece opportunity.
Will it be costly? If I was Deep Jones, I'd want to get straight on the end of this and make sure it's not.
He's plonked himself in front of his own goalkeeper to do that. Whitehead with a left-footed outswinger into the danger zone. Comes off Barac as far as Milicevic through the crowd. And Barac stabs it wide. Killed it beautifully, Josh Milicevic. And the Tigers, as the first half enters its final 5 minutes, knocking on the door. Nick Teneski. Yet another outswinger. A low one as well. Couldn't get past the first man, who was Conor Milett-Smith. That always frustrates you as a coach or a player, doesn't it, when it doesn't beat the first man?
Well, it's like with the defending in the league. You know, the games like this are often settled by one, maybe 2 goals at the most, and it's those little opportunities that you get, like set pieces, that need to be more precise. And it's harsh to say because everybody's trying to be as precise as possible, but you've got to be better.
Here's Bangura to lift it into the danger area. Mehmetaj came to meet. Basa Silk was closest to him. And Southam's header is going to be picked up in broken field play by Robert Kachenko. Ryan Straub. Here's Conor Milett-Smith. Kachenko's ball in. Can't beat the first man. Again, Southam's clearance not good enough. Kreskus, but always too high, never dipping enough to trouble Willem Lejeune. 6'5" goalkeeper. It's going to take something to lob him from there.
Had me confused, that. It wasn't really a powerful shot, or it was kind of in between a cross and a shot. Maybe he was in two minds.
'Twas neither in the end. Dylan Deep Jones will be thankful that shank clearance came to nothing. Mehmetaj. So to share the goalkeeping duties this year, Gary Mehmetaj. This is his 6th appearance of the season. Heath Illich started between the posts. Gary Mehmetaj, only his 9th National Premier League outing in his career, the goalkeeper to our right. Willem Lejeune, a few more.
Funny the goalkeeping business. I remember when Mark Bosnich was Manchester United and Socceroo goalkeeper, and Mark Schwarzer didn't have one Socceroo cap. And Bosner got himself into a little bit of trouble, and Mark Schwarzer went on to win, I think, over 105 caps, and probably might have got 1 or 2.
Yeah, strange how things work.
Yeah. What did they say? One man's
misfortune, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's exactly it. And then Mark Bosnich, ironically, was earmarked as a goalkeeper for Manchester United, wasn't he? And
well, he did go there.
Yeah, and didn't cement his spot, and they brought a big Danish fella in by the name of Peter Schmeichel.
Yes.
And he did all right.
Yeah. So when we played them at Elm Park, Schmeichel came out, he was the goalkeeper. Like, he was so big, I'm not even joking. It's like you had to go up these little steps at Elm Park to get up onto the pitch. When we went out for the game, like, Schmeichel kind of blocked the whole kind of tunnel, like there was no light in the tunnel.
See, Bosnich started with United, didn't he, as a junior, and then he was there before that, and then after he went back, didn't he?
He went back to Aston Villa.
99. After Schmeichel retired, he went back to United. Remember him playing in the World Club Championship final against Palmeiras and having this absolute blinder. United won 1-0.
Then he had an argument with the boss.
Never a wise thing to do with Fergie.
No. They never end well for the player.
Not really, no. You can see how that worked out for David Beckham
and even Roy Keane.
Roy Keane as well, yeah. One or two names fell foul of Alex Ferguson over the years. Good run this from Whitehead. Silk takes it on and can slide it towards Milicevic. Didn't quite work for them, but nice idea again from Tigers. Minute to the break. Rosebakken. Loose one again. That one, please, Paul McCall. But they've given the ball away at this stage.
A little sloppy. Don't really want that right at the end, near half time.
Milutinovic. Can the Tigers create an opening before the interval? Whittier. Milutinovic again. Michael Southam. Whittier again.
It's a great ball.
Steinecke helps it on. Mitchell decides that resetting is the best part. Right at this stage, just gets rid of it. We will tick over towards stoppage time, of which can't imagine there'd be too much. Game's flowed rather nicely. Milicevic. Taneski, loose touch from him. Picked off by Kreskas, who was working back diligently. Ryan Straub needs to be careful here. Kachenko.
Fantastic play from Robbie there.
Dominici tried the little sneaky flick to find Minot Smith. Into stoppage time.
I think both teams would be happy with they haven't conceded, which is a big plus for Canberra football.
Well, considering the way they leaked the goals on the weekend, both these sides, they'll be very happy with that. Wouldn't mind one at the other end, though. Canberra-Croatia, the happier of the three sides, I would have thought at the moment. They'll be delighted if this ends all square. Whittier. The onus will be on one of these two to come out and win it. And they'll have 45 minutes to do so, Andy Bennell, because at half-time, chances at a premium, but a very watchable football match.
Very enjoyable so far. We probably would have loved a goal or two, but it hasn't been, without being, the greatest game we've ever seen. It wasn't bad football, and both teams have tried to play, within their styles and tried to play nice football, and I think they've achieved that. It's missing a goal. Let's see what happens in the second half.
So advantage Canberra-Croatia, who at the moment can sit back with their feet up and watch their nearest challengers battle it out. And at the moment, nothing could separate these two. A point probably not good enough for either in their pursuit of the league leaders. But at the break, that's what they have to settle for. A big 45 minutes coming back up here at Stryda Park at half-time. It's Monaro Panthers 0, Tigers 0. Welcome back to Stryda Park. We're at half-time. It's Tigers 0, Panthers 0 in the Battle of the Big Cats at the top of the table in the National Premier League. As we stand, Canberra Croatia on 42 points, Tigers 35, Panthers 33. A point probably not good enough for either of these teams in their chase for the title. I'm Russ Gibbs. Andy Burnell is with me. Just had a good chat at half-time with Rocco Stricker. And do you know what, Andy Burnell, they could probably do with a Rocco Stricker out there right now, couldn't they?
The Panthers or the Tigers?
Well, either team right about now. His ability to score a goal would be very much welcomed.
He's certainly, one of those players from Canberra. Another one that springs to mind is Rogic. Guys that can change a game.
We saw that picture I sent you on text.
Yes.
Well, Tommy in his ANU outfit back in the day. Doesn't look like there's any changes from either side at the interval. 45 minutes to find a winner here.
It shows you we do produce players and we can produce players. Tommy at 17, 18 was playing for ANU, in the NPL too.
Turned out all right, didn't he?
Yeah.
Congratulations to Celtic on winning the Scottish Premier League again already. They've got a 4-point gap already, haven't they, or something like that, or 3 points. Rangers have drawn a couple.
They've called it early.
Ah, mate, I mean, honestly, as soon as someone drops points in that league,
all over.
Calling it early. They've got a European tie to look forward to. I think a Champions League qualification match at some stage this week. Or next week, the 21st, I think. But yeah, he had a great career at Celtic. It's a chance early in the second half.
And it just shows you there's a little... I was talking to Monaro coaches before the match about development in the city. A lot of young kids are looking to go up to Sydney and Melbourne and this, into MPL 2s and 3s, up to motorways at 14, 15, there's 5 or 6 of us that, became Socceroos. Simonic played for Croatia 105 times and we didn't leave this city until we were 17, 18 years of age. So,
changing people's mindsets is difficult though, Andy.
Yes, it is.
There's this idea that there's sparkling jewels at the end of the highway. It cost you a set of sparkling jewels to play there.
Well, it's very frustrating when here's an example of 5, 6, 7, 8 internationals, that didn't leave Canberra till they were 18 years of age. And
well, back in the day when the AIS and the FFA Centre of Excellence were here, they'd all come here, wouldn't they?
Yes.
So rather than go the other way around, you'd be playing against the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
In our National Premier League competitions. AIS, if you are old enough to remember all the way back then, Mark Viduka scored 1 or 2 goals in the local competition.
He did.
He went on to do all right for himself.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's look, there's no magic potion or secrets in this game, Russ. If you're the best player in Canberra at 17, 18 years of age, and you're really outstanding, people will come and find you.
Got some latest score for you in the Australian Cup if you're interested, Andy.
Yes,
34 minutes nil. 34 minutes in. Heidelberg United 2, Western Sydney Wanderers 0.
Whoa.
Well, good start to the game for Heidelberg.
Well, Heidelberg, they're going great guns in
come back to that in a minute as Whitehead might be in behind. Brought it down. Fernando can clear. But yeah, that's a bit of a surprise, that one.
They are A-League killers, Heidelberg. Last year they knocked out the Mariners in around this stage as well. So
doing the same tonight to West Sydney Wanderers.
Is that half-time?
Not quite half-time. No upset last night. Sydney FC saw off Sydney United on the weekend, I should say. Last night, Metro Stars, who accounted for Canberra Croatia, were sent packing by MacArthur.
Yep, they were firmly put in their place.
Is Milutinovic.
But there haven't really been any really big thrashings or big scores. The difference isn't that much.
And we've also lost victory in City, didn't we, in round 1?
Yes.
In the round of 32. So maybe Western Sydney Wanderers are aiming for that same A-League scrap heap. Bangura around the outside, lovely touch again. Now then, can he find the right ball in? It's taken a deflection. That might help out Milicevic. Sam Rosbacher made sure it didn't. Bassa Silk with Taneski. Now Whittier. Back as far as Milutinovic. All the momentum went out of the attack And even more so with that pass forward. Minot Smith. Milutinovic has won it back, though. Whitehead and Pickens, but happy to go home to William Lejeune. It's a bit of a surprise for you in the Cup. We'll keep you across that one as well. That was 35 minutes in. Down at Greenway, 20 minutes to go. Tuggeranong 0, Gungahlin United 3. Looks like 3 points for the Gunners in the National Premier League Women's competition. I'll be on National Women's Premier League Women's competition tomorrow night with Ian Worthington out of the AIS. Canberra, Croatia versus Canberra Olympic. As the teams battle for second, Belconnen United having wrapped up the Women's Championship on the weekend with a 1-0 win over Canberra, Croatia. Scott Conlon's well-oiled machine, unbeaten after 16 games, 16 wins. Pretty impressive. Kreskus with the free kick. 5 Panthers on the edge of the box. Whips it in low. It came off Whitehead and took all the sting out of it. Again, not the best free kick from Christian Kreskus.
No, it's again another missed opportunity.
A hefty thump of the right boot from William Lejeune. Bangira has looked sharp at the start of the second half.
He's looked sharp all game, to be honest with you.
Well, both fullbacks, Pat Mitchell on that side, Sam Rusbakken on this side, have had a rather torrid evening against their opposite numbers. As yet no damage done, though. Might be this time. Milicevic to peel away behind, and he might get in here. The stud of Rusbakken just curtailed the run. And then the fullback did well to win it back. And it's released Kreskus. He's looking for Dominici ahead. That final ball's not quite been there for either side, has it?
No, they've both teams are. It's been a lively start again to the second half, but it's been a little sloppier, I think.
Maybe the half-time lollies haven't kicked in just yet. Talking to sloppy. Challenge from Bassa Silk would have been welcomed on the Lions tour. Ryan Straub with this free kick.
Would have been play on in our day.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. You had a few words to say to the person on the ground as well, wouldn't you?
Ah, 1,000,000%.
Straub sends that in towards Deep Jones, who's up from the back, and it might come for Balach. It does come for Balach, and he rifles it home. The Golden Boot leader makes the breakthrough, and Monaro Panthers are in front 8 minutes after the break, and it's a critical goal once again for Daniel Balach.
Well, it was a great cross, a great set piece, and the delivery was this time for the Panthers really well executed. Deep Jones, I think, did great. He got on the end of it. It dropped to Barrach, and Daniel, you know, anywhere in that inside that penalty box, and especially in the 6-yard box, is just a dangerous customer. And once he got a side of goal, it was never going to be anything else.
16 league goals for the season for Daniel Balach. He now has 109 NPL goals in 202 games. Better than one every other game. And he often comes up trump when needed. And now they've got something to dig on to. Dominici wants to bend one.
So is the top goal scorer... Is the final tally after the league, or
after the league, after the 21 rounds?
Finals don't count.
Finals don't count. They'll get the goals added to their tally, but the Golden Boot Award will go to the player who's got the most at the end of 21 rounds, which at the moment is Daniel Balach.
And how many rounds have we got to go?
Well, this is round 18 catch-up. On the weekend it'll be round 19. So three more to play. Good race that will be.
Yes.
Kreskus. And here goes Kachenko, sliding in to meet him was Whitehead. Bassa Silk. Turned into trouble, didn't see mine at Smith, who in turn can't make the most of it. Here comes Marko Milutinovic. Gets out the pitching wedge to find Bangura, but Fernando takes control. Rosbach and Kreskas. We were talking at half-time, Andy Burnell, about the first goal being important because the team that hasn't got it now has to chase the game, and both these sides are fairly well set up for counter.
They are, and we were talking about the first goal being important and the set pieces being important, especially, you know, when you have a tight match as it has been tonight. You know, set pieces, and then wasn't too much earlier.
Touch from Taneski. Milicevic up against Steve Jones, causing problems. Milicevic off the crossbar. Might come for Basasilk. 1-1. Instant Tigers response. Ben Basasilk finishes it off, but the approach work from Josh Milicevic was top class. The lead didn't last long.
Oh, look, it was fantastic work from Josh. Thought he'd scuffed it a little bit, but it came back off the crossbar, and a fantastic finish from Basasilk against his old club.
Neglected to celebrate, Ben Basasilk back on his old stomping ground and on the score sheets. It always happens.
I thought Joshy was going to bend it into the bottom corner, but
he tied Deep Jones up in knots.
He did. And then someone else came across and he ripped them as well.
And his shot off target came back off the bar. And Ben Basasilk was the unerring equaliser. Made it look easier than it was, did Ben Basasilk with that finish. So
we're all square.
Much like London buses waited for 53 minutes for a goal, then a couple came along in the space of a couple of minutes. Whitehead. They do say, the old football cliche, that you're at your most dangerous when you've just conceded. Quite often it happens, doesn't it? You concede straight away. Maybe the mental block, you switch off somewhat.
It's funny how football works that way.
But credit to the Tigers for not going into their shell.
Remember playing at Wembley and we were 2-0 up at half-time, and as we were coming back out onto the pitch for the second half, can't remember who the coach, one of our coaches, I can't remember his name, he said, lads, 2-0 was the most dangerous score in football. He wasn't wrong.
No, you said thanks, coach.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
We'd lost 4-3 by the end of the match.
That was against Bolton Wanderers, wasn't it, in the playoff final? Reading, unlucky that year, became only the first club and the only club ever, I think, to finish third in the table, second in the table, and not get promoted.
It's the only year ever that second has never been. Second was not promoted.
That's because they reduced the number of teams in the Premiership that year. Free kick. This is Rocco Stricker range. We were talking to him at half-time. He would have loved this.
Yep.
Got a mind at Smith. Tried his luck from a similar kind of range in the first half. Wants to have a pop again.
It's a good strike. But
down the throat. Good distribution from Lejeune. Excuse me, the Tigers on the break. Whitehead's ball picked off by Rosbach and needed to be.
Idea was right. It's a great ball. Got cut out in the end. Still end-to-end stuff here, Russ.
Yeah, pace has lifted a bit as well, hasn't it?
Yep.
Almost quarter of an hour of the second half gone. Coming up to the hour mark. One apiece. Whitehead looking for Basasilk. Memitage was always favoured to get there first. Kreskas, not enough on that. There's plenty on that, though. On the challenge for Shannon Whitehead. And Christian Kreskas is going to get himself a yellow card. The first of the evening. His third of the season. Don't think there was much doubt about that, Andy Bennell. Although, as you probably quite rightly point out, wouldn't be a yellow card back in our day.
Well, it's...
But we don't play in our day.
It is what it is, Russ. You can't look at anybody these days without getting booked, so...
Ian Worthington says he remembers that day very well, being a Bolton Wanderers fan.
He's on the line, is he?
I mean, he just he put it back on his train. Ben Basser Silk. Frank Keisha gave him his debut, apparently. First grade debut at 17 years of age at Canberra Olympic. Yep. What if you told him to finish like that? Plenty of work to do for both teams here at the moment, though. Shandon Whitehead. To lift it in towards the penalty area. Deep one over the back. He came off Patrick Mitchell. And it's hooked back in. But I think the free kick has been given a little bit handsy on the edge of the penalty area. Or the edge of the 6-yard box, I should say. Plenty of football for you this weekend, of course. Tuggeranong versus Tigers on the weekend.
Where is that at, Ross?
That's at the AIS. Monaro Panthers, well, they'll play Ugali. Be a tough old trip. Popovic has come on just after that goal. Michael Southam.
Tell you what, they're on here, they're on here.
Kuchenko wants to have a go. It's like change in formation for the Tigers with the introduction of Nick Popovic for Josh Milicevic. Just after the equaliser. Leads the line, Nick Popovic.
It's getting a little spicy here.
Oh, it is a little bit. Augustin Bangura getting involved. What does Nick Popovic bring to the party, Andy Bennell?
Well, for me, he's been one of these Canberra players that for many years has been one of the better players in the city. You know, he's a handful when he plays up front. He can score goals. Now experienced. Someone that he hasn't started tonight, but you know he would be a starter in most teams. He's been overseas though for work, I believe.
That hits so, from Kreskus.
But he's a handful. He's a real kind of old school striker. You know, he's technically good, great touches.
Here's Tomohiro Ogawa, who's the other change for the Tigers. Bangura going to battle his way into midfield. And the free kick does go the way.
Pop as a kid, like Dominici, like Woody, with his, you know, like a few of them out there that if at 18, 19 this city had an A-League club, you know, a lot of these boys could have ended up playing A-League. You know,
here's a free kick for the Tigers. Not a bad couple of substitutes to introduce to the fray. Nick Popovic and Tomohiro Ogawa.
Again, will a set piece decide this match?
Here's a chance for the Tigers to do just that. At least give themselves the opportunity. Whitehead to swing it in, and the header was good by Whittier, but lacked the power to get its way past Memitage.
You call him Whittier, I call him Woody. What do the fans call him?
Well, Woody's his nickname, I guess, isn't it? But Ogawa.
You're just being more formal, yes?
Well, absolutely. Here's Tomohiro Ogawa, finds Nick Teneski. Back for Milutinovic. In towards Teneski. Resparken will get rid of it. Whitehead to swing it in. Lovely ball. Deep Jones got there. Needed to. What do you make of the two changes, Addy? The two players that are involved in the goal, Josh Milicevic and Ben Basser-Silk, have made way. It's almost like your job is done tonight.
Yeah, at the moment it seems like the Tigers' changes have had a little bit more of an impact.
Well, they score a goal to get themselves back to 1-1, then make both changes. It's almost like premeditated to try and push on. And it's worked for them at the moment. They are on top. In swinging from Whitehead. Milutinovic climbed high. Didn't get it on target. Helped on by Taneski. Barach. Here's Kreskas. I do like watching Ben Basser-Silk play football, though. And he's a silky player, isn't he?
For years, I've liked him. I was around helping Frank at times for a little while at Olympic during his heyday there. And he introduced Ben Basser-Silk, and just a beautiful technician. You know, I always believed, and I told Frank at times, that he had all the ability and the football intelligence to play A-League or more. Probably, you know, staying in this system here and in this environment here, he and I say this respectfully, probably didn't develop into that top athlete that you need to play higher levels.
Well, here goes Whitehead. Come back to that point in a moment. Bangura on the break for the Tigers. Looking to slide one in towards Ogawa and away from Rosebakken.
But yes, I think Ben, on a football level, could have played at many higher levels than this. You know, I always, and I think I may have mentioned it to him. I said, if you become a world-class athlete one day, you could play wherever you want. A little bit like what I said to Tom Rogic back in the day. But some embrace it, some are just happy doing this, you know, and each to their own.
Took his goal beautifully tonight. Yeah. Done his dash. He's off down the changing rooms to get changed, keep warm. His team back in with shouts halfway through the second half. One apiece here at Stryda Park. Bangura in for Ogawa. Fine technician himself. Milutinovic. Southam.
Where did they find Ogawa? Russ, I know you're going to say Japan.
Yeah,
somewhere,
he did. They picked him up. I think it was an Ali Effie signing.
Was he playing League Two there or something? Or?
Not sure where he was playing, but a great signing. And he's a Player of the Year in Canberra last year. Beautiful football player. And a lovely gentleman as well. Hasn't had the easiest of seasons this year. Started off with an injury. Took him a while to get going. But he's shown glimpses of his class throughout.
The Japanese show a beautiful, nice touch on the ball, don't they? They're all
technically very good. There's the boys at Gungarin as well, in Yoshida Shoki.
Yes.
And Ayu Kimura. There's a yellow card coming out here. And it's going to be brandished at Robert Kachenko. His third of the season as well. But yeah, the boys there.
It's a beautiful technique. It's a first touch becomes one with the body. Divine.
We get another set piece for the Tigers in another promising position. And another chance for the left foot of Shandon Whitehead to deliver. Tall Timber makes its way forward once more. The whole line across the top of the Panthers' penalty area. Whitehead's delivery too close to Memitage. Easy take for the goalkeeper in the end. And he sent a hefty hoik forward towards Barach. Kills it beautifully. Wonderful touch with that wand of a left foot. Kreskus to burst for Keddy Manders on up top. In from Rosbach, and it's dipping, and it's been touched away by Whitehead.
I'll bring that across to the touch of Barach here. We'll bring it back, and that was sublime. Beautiful touch from Daniel.
While they were taking the corner, they snuck on for Keddy Mander, for Stephen Dominici, I believe. Looks like he's gone. Another change in the offing over there at the moment. They won't take it just yet. Kreskus swings that in towards Barach.
Again, it needed to be a better delivery.
Here's Mitchell.
Here's his opportunity.
Better this time from Kreskus. Barach helps it on. Ogwa should be able to clear. And he's shanked it into his own foot. There's that wonderful technique I was talking about.
As soon as we bring...
Curse of the commentator once again. And here's a player who might have a point to prove. Nikos Kalfas about to come on for Monaro Panthers. Their second change. And we'll see who's coming off. I think it's Sam Rosbachen who's come to this near side, who's coming off. So that will be a change in shape as well, perhaps.
Not only something to prove, but he is a man that has the weapons and the skill to influence a game, to change a game, to decide a game.
Well, he's chucked himself in the penalty area straight away. Christian Kreskus with a corner kick. In towards Kalfas, who got a touch on it. Well, that would have been some introduction. That would have been a welcome to the match.
Yeah.
Nikos Kalfas has a couple of goals to his name in the league this year, 2 in the cup as well. Both of those when he was playing in Tigers colours.
He's a special talent too. I think the last couple of seasons he's been unfortunate with injury and did his ACL, but he's another one that should have and could have played at higher levels, but at this level is one of the better players, is one of the stars of this league, and we'll see what impact he has the rest of the match.
For Keddy Mander, trying to squeeze his way down the touchline, nowhere to go. Mitchell with a throw, looking for Mander. There's several players on both sides that came across in the June window. And he's done well for himself for Keddy Mander. Usually starts. First time we've seen him off the bench this year.
Are they going to change all that movement in the windows here?
Who knows? There's all sorts of stuff in the review. Haven't got my head around all of it at the moment. Look at the transfer window in the UK. It's hard to stop. Taneski drifting across field. His pass is picked off though. Well, this game very much in the balance still, and still Canberra, Croatia are the big beneficiaries. No, Steinacker was trying to get involved. Popovic is. Bangura to turn. Steinacker galloping forward. The deflection could go anywhere. It dropped on the roof of the net, and for the moment, Memitaj was worried.
He was worried, and no, Steinacker's been fantastic tonight. He's been up and down, defensively been really, really solid.
Well, 2 changes apiece from the bench, 1 goal apiece on the scoreboard. Nick Taneski to take this corner kick. Just over 15 minutes to play. Taneski. And the header from Whittier. Forced the save from Memitaj. Routine in the end for the Panthers number 1. Any goal now in this final 15 minutes or so would be priceless. Not only for the positions on the league table, but also potentially further afield. Now there's a yellow card here for Daniel Barach, I think that was.
For shouting, I think that was.
That's the 3rd Panther to see yellow tonight from Nathan Shakespeare. Whatever was said, The referee didn't take kindly to it. Mitchell's won it back. Manda. He's got Barac ahead of him, but runs into heavy traffic. Nick Popovic working his socks off. And then they come in together with Manda off the ball. Whitehead. Popovic took exception to Manda running across his path.
Play on.
Nothing in it, really, was there?
No.
There's two players particularly keen to get involved. Ogawa. Deep Jones has had a bit of a swing. He's had a couple of digs. I thought he might have been reaching for his pocket, but he's only reaching for the spray. And another free kick for the Tigers. They're racking them up at the moment. Nick Taneski has another chance into the final quarter hour. Gap at the top might be 7 points with 3 games remaining after tonight, unless they can get a winner here. Ogawa knocks it forwards. Milutinovic tried to bring it down. Bangura might sneak in round the back. Dylan Deep Jones had to be aware.
Good tackle from Dylan. Poor free kick. Need to beat that first man. That's a better cross.
Taneski towards the far post.
Made up for the free kick. It's a fantastic cross from Nick Taneski.
Memitage clawed it away. Tigers ramping up the pressure here. Panthers doing some defensive work. Can they hold on? Whitehead to swing it in. Milutinovic to win it. Free kick awarded. Climbing on the back, Marko Milutinovic. Both sides have shown they've got the ability to win this. And here's a yellow card for Marko Milutinovic coming out here.
Yeah, I think he was letting Kaufas know he's about, but I don't think it's made any impact on Nick. He's a very strong, powerful athlete, and he's brushed it off.
I do like random statistics, and I'll give you one after this free kick, because it was a bit of a peculiar one. As Kreskas launches one forward over the top. Barac will stretch. On the weekend, Tigers scored 4 goals. And that meant they scored 4 goals in each of their last 2 Premier League matches in round 17 or 18. Second time they've done that this season, having achieved the feat against the exact same opponents in rounds 2 and 3. So 4 goals against O'Connor in round 2, 4 goals against Gungahlin in round 3. No more 4-goal back-to-back hauls until round 17 or 18 when O'Connor and Gungahlin were the opponents again. Random symmetry in the numbers. Means absolutely nothing, of course, but
I do admire
quirks of football.
I do admire. I'm not sure what the right word is. I admire your
random ability to come up with nonsense.
Yeah.
I think it's called Whitehead's ball forward.
It's like to even know that is.
Yeah, just spend a lot of time looking at football results, probably. Milutinovic finds Taneski. Sweeping crossfield ball. Picked up by Mitchell. I'm such a thrill down the pub with those kind of questions.
Oh. You're the quiz man.
Oh, absolutely. I bore my family senseless with all that kind of stuff. They just roll their eyes. Just save it all for here. Deep Jones sends it forward. Might come out for Smith to play it. Kaufas loves these kind of positions. Be forced wide, 2 purple shirts for company. Does exceptionally well to deliver it too.
Great cross.
Might come for Manda. Ogawa made sure the referee knew there was a touch. And Tigers get themselves a free kick.
Why did you come up with those stats, by the way?
Because it's my job. to come up with random statistics to entertain the public on a Tuesday night in Canberra. That's why they pay me the mediocre dollars.
Yes.
You'd feel cheated.
I'm here for the free pizza.
Fair, you feel cheated if you were at home and didn't get a random statistic. Sat in front of your fireplace while we're cooling off for you here, because it is getting a bit cooler.
You're probably the only man that can get me out to these football matches.
That's
right?
good to know,
yeah,
Andy.
Yeah.
You'd love to come here and chat with me with 90 minutes plus. You do get the free pizza as well. It is a bonus, isn't it? Thanks once again to Anthony Zanetti and the Monaro Panthers Supporters Club for looking after us tonight. Great work again, guys. Love your work in there. They'll hear this on the old delay in a second. Must have drinking them out of 95 cans of Coke over the year. Here's Manda. Back for mine at Smith. Went low and hard. Went wide of the post. That's Coke, no sugar, though, because I'm watching my figure, Andy.
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a great strike from Connor. It wasn't too far off.
Well, he hasn't had his moment tonight, has he? And he's been having his moments over the last few weeks. 5 successive games with goals for Connor Minott-Smith. Panthers would love half a dozen. Home support would love half a dozen. Would keep them in with a shout. As it is, a point would mean that their title hopes would probably be over the hill and far away, near enough. Ogawa, both sides could do with a win. It might set up an entertaining end. Straub's hit. Lejeune, too tall.
Good opportunity, that one.
He's got prodigious boots on him, hasn't he? And Popovic has taught that down brilliantly. Now, Deep Jones might be in trouble here with a card. Brandished at him, I think that was, by Nathan Shakespeare. 4th Panther to see yellow tonight, and a free kick in a position of promise. Nick Taneski over it, Shandon Whitehead over it. Maybe on the range to beat Memitaj.
And that's what Popovic brings to the table.
Strength, tenacity, and no little skill as well.
And creates havoc. He wins you fouls like this. He wins you things that bring opportunity.
Moment for Whitehead. Not his best. A let-off perhaps for Monaro. We got the seal of approval from the Mayor of Queanbeyan, Kenrick Winchester, saying he is entertained, Andy.
Yeah.
So there you go. We are entertaining him on a Tuesday night. Thank you very much, Mayor Winchester.
He's here tonight, or he's watching
he went home specifically to listen to us.
Okay.
I think he was up at Hawker watching his young lad play in the SAP tournament or training that they do up there. But thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for the very kind
words. Mayoral seal of approval.
Yep.
It's worth a lot around these parts. Might get you a free kebab down the high street later on.
Right. Queanbeyan's always been a favourite of mine since I was a kid. We had a lot of friends that lived in Queanbeyan. Canberra Raiders started off playing in Queanbeyan at Seaford.
Not far from here.
Yeah.
Manda looking to burst into the box. Southam away. Popovic will chase, and he's going to get there as well, Nick Popovic. Memitaj has come, hasn't got it. Popovic has. Tigers lead. A moment of magic from Nick Popovic. He saw it. He took it. And the Tigers are in front.
You asked me earlier what Popovic brings. A whole lot of trouble for Monaro Panthers. He's
6 minutes to play, and Nick Popovic off the bench and on the score sheet with his most important contribution of the season.
Took that really well. He's been a handful since he came on. They've been grabbing him, tugging at him, trying to foul him.
A moment that the Tigers faithful really appreciated. Barach into the box. Monaro's turn to throw the kitchen sink. Popovic, Ogawa, Taneski.
He was fantastic again there, Popovic.
Here goes Nick Taneski. to cut inside, and he can't finish it. This will be open now. Here's Bangura.
How's the table looking now, Ross?
Well, at the moment, it's looking with Tigers FC onto 37, 5 points behind Canberra, Croatia.
Who have Croatia got on the weekend?
They play Gungahlin United.
At
Gungahlin Enclosed. We will be there with your commentary. Kalfas in the middle. At the moment, it means the Panthers on 33 are 9 points behind. With 9 points left to play, they would not be able to catch Canberra, Croatia, but for an absolute calamitous fall apart by those at Deakin Stadium. Kalfas swings it in, deep Jones climbed. 5 minutes for the hosts to find a way. Minot Smith, 5 minutes to keep their championship hopes alive.
Great cross.
Kachenko's climbing. It's come for Manda. It's Fernando. And it will be a corner. Monaro Panthers will need to throw everyone at this. Nick Popovic is down, stretching himself out here.
Might have done a hamstring.
He looks in a little bit of pain here. He will kill a bit of time and momentum as well. He's a very clever footballer,
yes.
Nick Popovic too.
He has been overseas for a while, hasn't he? So just come back into the action. If he is faking it, he's doing a good job of it and very cleverly winding the clock down.
Well, Nathan Shakespeare's an A-League referee. He's seen all this before. He'll just add it on at the end, won't he? I hope it's not an injury for Nick Popovic's sake, because we want to see him play as much as we can. I think it's going to be okay. Might be just a tight hammy at the back there. Maybe pulled it celebrating.
Yeah.
Kalfas with the corner. Everybody in a purple shirt, bar Popovic, inside the penalty area. Kalfas to swing it in. Southam away. Popped back out wide by Kreskus. Kalfas just sold the dummy. Can he pick the right ball? Kreskus into the crowd. And away come Tigers with Nick Taneski. Bangura screaming for it to be played forward, and it is. Mitchell has to clear. Time against the Panthers. A change. 2 changes, in fact, over on that far side. Nick Taneski is coming off. And I believe, who's the second change? It's Augustin Bangura, who's also coming off. Tigers looking to see this one out. Nathan Mejic is one of the changes. And young Zachary Ilioski is the other. Experience of Mejic, the youthful enthusiasm of Ilioski. Whittier caught late by Straub. That's exactly what the Tigers would want. Ali Effie, the suspended coach of the Tigers. Nerves taking him outside the grounds.
He's going nuts.
Been in the stand today, having to watch his group, serving his suspension from the weekend. Nerves have got the better of him, it would seem. Whitehead into the penalty area. Flag goes up against Nathan Mejic, who want to put the ball down. Referees have been hot on this season, and he's going to get himself a yellow card. Nathan Mejic is 6th of the campaign. Silly one to pick up. We've managed to get 6 yellow cards in this evening as well, Andy.
It's been
It's not been one of those games, unfortunately, but Samson Card's about to come on as well, the Tigers' last substitute. Kreskus into the final 60 seconds.
Been a tight match, but it hasn't been a real violent match, has it?
Kalfas overhits it. And here will be the final Tigers change. Samson Carr, who's going to come off this time.
Doesn't really matter. I think this is just an eating
Shandon
up.
Whitehead.
This is an eating up.
Well, back in the day, this used to be you take off the person furthest from you, wouldn't you? So they'd just walk across the field. But now they get to come off on the side nearest to where they are. Doesn't quite have the same effect.
Ali's back.
He's back. A couple of deep breaths. Robert Kachenko. This might have big ramifications in the race for 1v2, the race to see who plays in the qualification final rather than the elimination final. And the proverbial 2 bites of the cherry.
Well, Canberra, Croatia are pretty safe, but they would have preferred a draw here, wouldn't they?
They still might see one. Into stoppage time at the end of the 90. Panthers seeking a way back into the contest. Fernando. Kalfas. Kachenko. Kreskus. Charged down by Milutinovic. And sends it for Popovic, who's fully recovered. 2 runners with him. Milutinovic continued on his way, but Popovic rather shanked his clearance.
That hamstring's looking good.
Yeah, it's all right now. Yep. One for Barac. One by Whittier. Medjic brings it down beautifully. And finds Steinacker. Popovic. Steinacker's gone off on a run. Ogawa. Steinacker. Popovic. And Steinacker couldn't quite take it in.
Steinacker's still running. He's had a great day.
90 seconds almost of stoppage time played. Deep Jones with the throw. Helped on by Straub. Finds its way to Ogawa via Whittier. Ogawa again. Skips away from Kreskus. Thought about crossing it and then decided that the corner flag was his friend, and then skins Kreskus again and goes past Deep Jones, and the free kick goes the way for a dive, and Tomohiro Ogawa is going to get himself a yellow card for simulation.
Did Ogawa get a little nutmeg in there as well?
On Kreskus, I think he did. He's got a yellow card for taking a dive. Nathan Shakespeare unimpressed. Deep Jones wins the header. Ilioski. Good battle with Kachenko and won it. Samson Carr. Ilioski. Nicely worked. Ogawa. Ilioski again. Pitkin was heavily involved there. Popovic, whose goal is the difference. Oh, and he's done well to get away from his marker and deliver it towards the far post. Whittier. The ball is where the Tigers want it to be. Steinacker. Whittier. Happy to keep it, the men in purple. Michael Southam. Ilioski. Took it down beautifully. Can't find a way past Fernando. Manda. Can he affect the game? Minot Smith. Manda lets it go out for a throw.
One last chance, is it?
We're into the 4th minute of time added on. There cannot be much more. Mitchell for Fernando. Might be best served getting this forward as quick as they can. Kreskus to do just that. Half cleared by Milutinovic, fully cleared by Southam. And Popovic can go. Released by Ogawa. Nick Popovic racing for the hills. Dylan Deep Jones back to take it off his toes. It was a tired looking run for Nick Popovic.
He's certainly tired now, but he's had a major influence on this match.
Well, he's had the moments, hasn't he? Anticipation to get on the end of the through ball and round Memitage, and then the composure to finish. In the scheme of things, when we look back at the 2025 campaign, that goal might be a critical moment. It certainly will be for Panthers' hopes of the title.
You know, if it stays like this, he certainly, you know, we were looking for that one person, that one change to either side, that you know, a man that could come on and change the game, and Popovic certainly has been that guy tonight.
He's now got 56 goals in 125 games, Nick Popovic. He's so much more than just goals. His presence and his stature leads the line.
Hold-up play, he makes people foul him. He's just a constant nuisance and threat. An asset up front to any side.
And he'll go chasing after this again with Dick Jones. Again. And he's got past him again. And he's got Ogawa in support to finish it. And Mehmetaj makes sure he doesn't. Got a hand on it, the goalkeeper. My phone's just flashed to tell me that Kuma Tigers have scored again. Unless unless something's happened that I don't know about.
What did we miss?
Oh, did I miss anything? That didn't go in, did it? It's still 2-1. There'll be people around the world looking at that score coming up and going, oh, there, the third one. In no hurry.
Okay.
Ogawa.
Okay.
Has it in the corner. Medjic with him. Ilioski's there. Is Zach Ilioski. Another corner. And it won't matter. That'll do. A huge 3 points for the Tigers. It keeps their hopes of the title alive. And it may sound a death knell to that of the hopes of the Panthers. And one moment in the second half, Andy Burnell from Nick Popovic sealed it. But in the end, a good performance from the away team to get the points they needed.
Look, I thought they deserved it overall. Second half, they were the stronger side. I think the Tigers' changes had more impact on the game. And you know, again, Popovic was the difference tonight. You know, his second half performance really led the way for a good Tigers performance, and you know, he was the one key, you know, element that they lacked in the first half, and we spoke about it. We said, you know, who's the guy? Does either team have a guy that's going to come on and change proceedings? And I'll lend it with he was the guy. He was the man.
Thanks, Andy Burnell. A clutch moment. Needed a clutch player, and it got it with Nick Popovic. His goal 6 minutes from time has the Panthers breathing down the neck of Canberra, Croatia. They've kept their title hopes alive. The gap at the top down to 5 points with 3 games remaining. It's still in the hands of the men from Deakin, but those from the Tigers, well, they will not roar quietly into the night. They will continue their pursuit. It's finished here at Stryda Park. Monaro Panthers 1, Tigers FC 2.